All right, today we're on the Schwinn AC Power. This use when we go to pedal it a little bit, we press the button on the console doesn't turn on. Also, there's no red light showing up. The red light showing up is powered by a generator right here, and there's a green belt that often breaks. So, what we're going to do is start off by removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. All Phillips, make sure you keep them in these holes. They're all size specific, so keep track of all your screws. This will be shot in real time, not edited. Alright, I like to keep it like this. All my screws stay in the same place. Alright, what we got right here is the generator assembly, and there's supposed to be a green belt right here. It's not here. So what we want to do is take off this Phillips head, top, this Phillips head, keep track of your screws, that removes this, and then we have 2 Phillips, 1, 2, 3 of these Allens. 4mm Allens. There we go. Let that dangle out of the way. Then you'll see this Phillips screw. Keep track of your stuff. They're different sizes, so I'll mentally keep track. And there's a secret screw down there. Hopefully you'll see it. So to remove this whole thing in the shroud, 4 Phillips and then 3 Allens. Clears it out of the way. Now let's go ahead and loosen up that bolt. Regular hex. See what size it is. Looks like it's a 14mm. We're just going to loosen this up. Okay. .14mm, and just pay attention to that little nut right there. This black thing is going to come out. When we put it back, we want to make sure this nut to keep the spacing and alignment right. Let's go over to the other side. All right, let's move this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I also find, be careful with the pedal over here so you don't rip off the thing you just took off, and then you got to finagle this thing off. Keep track of your screws. Peels right off. If it's your first time doing this, longer screws go into the frame. I put it back on here. Shorter screws go back into plastic. There. Okay. 14 millimeter. I also like to pay attention when you rotate this pedal that you don't freaking damage that. Different strokes for different folks. I just like to pop this off. Actually, let's just take this off, see what happens. Yeah, it's under a lot of tension. So. Just watch your fingers. Takes the pressure off of these. Pop these off. One black thing comes off. Pay attention. Keep that washer in there, and remember that little cutout right there is going to go forward. And this thing will then slide back. Take this off. Boom, boom. All right. See that roll? It'll stay in place. Grab a new belt. Watch your fingers. This thing is like 40 pounds. Throw that back on there. Then put that back up. There. And I'm just gonna put this on just a little bit. I'll show you what happened on the other side. You do not want to forget this step. Don't cross thread that. Let's go around. Belt popped off. Before you tighten this down, you'll hate yourself. Just have this go back. Sorry, taking off that thing I put on the other side. Put the belt back on. Make sure your green thing's on, should still be on. Then pay attention here. I want to make sure that this nut that's one of the flat sides of the bolt are facing out so it fits right into that little hole. There you go. The bolt will slide out some. Slide that bolt so it faces you. There you go. Slide this on, adjust, and get it in there. And then find where your washer fell. Always looking for stuff. There she is. There we go. Boom. And tighten both sides. This little cap right here is where the screw is, so you want to make sure that Go. Hand tight. That side's hands tight. Now, those things on, you put this on. Remember, don't slice your cable on this side. That's on you. However you want to do it. I'm just not going to slice the cable. Hold it. Someone in the comments will sure say something. Boom, boom, lock in there. Okay, now we're going to tighten that up. Come back here. Make sure this thing is around. Show you what we can. Let's put this thing back up. Just do a soft install. There we go. Now let's address this real quick. Let's get this done correctly. Right now we're kind of just reassembling everything, but sometimes depending on how you do this step you'll have to do or you don't. If you can get it around there and it stays on place. There we go. So put this. There we go. Hold it tight, come around here. Boom, put on that thing. All right, and now we're just at the part where we put everything back together. So you can do it yourself or stick around. Sometimes there's a little bit of If you're using a drill, turn down your chuck to like a 2 or a 3. You don't want to strip out any of these cheap brass fittings. Side note, all these screws, pay attention to which way things come off so you don't get hung up like this. See this circle right here? It's got to line up. Shorter screws. These 2 longer screws, the hidden screws back there, I don't really put it back on because the manufacturer will hate me for it. I don't know why they do that. It's easier. I like to lubricate these screws though. They're starting to show signs of rust, so any sort of grease. This is just super lube. Find on Amazon, PTFE, whatever. See how it's got some rust going on? Shh. I don't like that rust. COVID really rusts some stuff out, and Good stuff right in the kind of. 15 minutes, this ain't bad. I'm not making a video. I didn't have to make a video, but nice and taut. Tuck that cable back up in there. Boom. Now we're gonna go tighten these guys down. 14 millimeter. Now, hopefully, let's pedal this thing. If you look down here, well, we'll go to the other side. So the lights that we want to turn on are right here, and they should when we pedal. There they are. Good to go. Let's see how the console looks. Looks like we got a full battery right there. We're gonna have to, looks like, repair it since nothing's reading, which is not uncommon. But ideally, if we stop this, power goes out, so we are probably gonna replace the battery. That's another video. The little scratching you heard, you wanna come under here and make sure that this isn't rubbing, so you adjust the alignment of this if it's rubbing. But with this being dead for so long, this battery right here probably needs recharged or replaced. Remove these 2.5 millimeter Allens. Get yourself a new battery, swap it out. Ideally, you should turn on the console and it should stay lit on its own. But that's how you freaking replace that in about 17 minutes. Thank you.